And so that was how he took me for some casting or something of that nature. We got there were so many people. Some other girl like bonded with at the casting place said, oh, while we're waiting, I heard there's a movie auditioning going on down the street. I'm going, do you want to come with me? Oh yeah, whatever. I went with her. She went in for her audition, came out bawling, oh, I didn't get the part. I was like, oh, sorry, so let's go back. They might have gotten to her audition. She was like, why don't you go and try? And I was like, I don't have money. She's like, no, it's free. I was like, free? Me, I'm always looking for free stuff. Oh yeah. So that was it. I just went in, very unserious. I didn't even know what they were doing. I didn't know what it was about. It was for a movie at the time called Neka Part 2. Neka the Serpent, if some of you remember that movie, the Part 2. And I got the part of the mermaid. I was like, what do I do with this? So I came out, and of course the girl was very upset. I don't remember her name, that's how upset she was. Because obviously we went our separate ways. And so I went back home and told my mom, I got this part in the movie. And she was like, number one, in those days in Nigeria, for you to be an actor, it means that you're a prostitute. I mean, I know some of them still try to make that narrative stay till today. It's a lie. The people who do nonsense, they do nonsense, but we have a lot of very respectable people who have made a living out of this and are representing us everywhere in the world. So kudos to every actor in Ghana and in Nigeria that are doing the job, okay? So, my mom said no, that I wasn't gonna do the part. And so that's how I didn't do that part. I lost that role because and then secondly, she believed that, the role they gave me of the mermaid, will come back and haunt the whole family, witchcraft kind of thing. Yeah, so my mom she was very superstitious. I mean, she's late now, so that was that about that. But that also opened a portal for me. So the next audition I heard about, I was now bold enough to go for it on my own. And so I went, and luckily I got the lead role. But I told them, look, so the problem is I'm not going to be able to do it, except you come and help me beg my mom. So they all came with me to beg my mom to let me do it. So that was how I got it. To your second question, which is sexual harassment or something, sexual roles, as they call it, I didn't experience anything like that. Haven't experienced anything like that in my entire career, but I don't also want to minimize the experience of some other people who have experienced that, and I can't even blame them. When I was younger, I used to think there was something they did because I didn't understand it. But now that I'm older, I know that people will solicit for sex from you, even when you're a non. They will still try to, I've seen people even abuse babies, so predators are predators, and they abound everywhere, whether in the movie industry or elsewhere. So what I would say to the girl who's coming into the industry is, understand that it is not unique to you. You haven't done anything wrong. It's not because you're pretty or because of the way you're dressed. Even though I advise, try and dress neatly and modestly, but, it's not because you're not dressed modestly anyway. It's a mental thing. The best way you can handle it is to make sure that you don't go for auditions alone. I never did. Don't go for auditions alone. Always make sure there's someone with you. Don't go to private places. Don't let someone tell you, come to my house or come to a hotel room. Make sure you meet in public places and go with somebody. And these days, it's even easier. You have a phone. Make sure your phone is, let me give you a game. Make sure your phone is always on record. Yeah. You might not be able to use it in court. I mean, there are lawyers in the house. I don't know if that's admissible now in court. But at least you have evidence for yourself and for whoever you're talking to, maybe your lawyer or something. So always make sure that you have some kind of recording going on, especially when you feel uncomfortable. Having said that also, if all of these are absent, and you are the one, because there are women too that are predators, okay? If you are the female that feels that you're going into a place and you're going to seduce a director or something of that nature to get a role, let me also address you. If you start like that, you will continue like that. You must. Now, number two, so your body is finished because all of them will take their own turns. Because in my industry, everything goes around, okay? There's no secrets in my industry, that's for sure. I don't know about the Ghanaian one, but in Nigeria, everybody knows. Number two, so number two is that if you start that way, trust me, you will never really go anywhere. There are people who probably become stars or whatever, but you will notice that they're always struggling. You will always struggle. You know why? Because it goes back to what I said earlier. You will never really be confident. You always feel like, I got here because I had to give. I had to give. Not because you feel like I'm enough. And it might take you time, but if you're good enough, you keep improving yourself, you will definitely land the role.
Okay, my final question to you. I'm sure that you've been monitoring the Ghanaian movie industry, have you? What are your thoughts on where we are?
Monitoring, though, that word. Watching?
Do you follow?
Following?
Yeah, so you've been following it.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the industry now?
So Nana Abba and I spoke about this at length, was it yesterday?
Oh, you did?
We did. Wahala. Who say you? How will I say this? You guys have some of the most beautiful stars. I've worked with a whole lot of them. And I think, so we're trying to pinpoint what the problem was, because I realized that a lot of the movie stars here always have to come to Nigeria. And so I was asking, is there a movie industry here, like a viable one, that's making a lot of money? Unfortunately, since there is none. And I think it's your fault. Why are you laughing? It's your fault. Do you know why Nigerians are so successful? People think it's just because of our numbers. It's not just because of our numbers. It's because Nigerians buy Nigeria. Nigerians love Nigerian content. But it was not always so. There was a time when we Nigerians also thought or felt that Nigerians did not respect us, like us. In fact, I was in a gathering one time in America, long time ago. In those days, I was maybe, 21 or so, and I was in this respectable gathering with some Nigerians, some very prominent people, with some other nationals. And the nationals were talking about Nigerian movies. My own people were saying, oh, who is she? Sorry, oh, you're famous? What's your name? And look, if you know me, you know I know how to throw shade. I'm like, ask them. They're the ones telling you, not me. Why are you facing me? And stuff like that. But in the course of this discussion, now let me shock you. This man now later, he forgot that he asked that stupid question in the beginning, yeah? In the middle of the whole talk, towards the end, he was not like, so my wife was now telling me about you. She was now saying that. Everybody just kept quiet. I was like, uh-oh. Your wife knows her and she told you about it. So that's but I didn't blame him. Now, then of course I was upset. But later on I realized they were ashamed of us. That's what it was. They weren't proud of us. They didn't respect us until outsiders started respecting us. So if that's what you need, please let me tell you that we respect your Ghanaian stars. Maybe let me break that news to you guys. Like, we really respect them. In fact, there was a time when the reason why they were even able to come act in Nigerian movies is because we loved them. We admired them. They were so beautiful. Some of your stars are actually more beautiful than our stars. Some of them. So please cherish them. It is you that's not making them do much. Because if you don't buy their products, it's a business. If you don't buy their products, then they won't be able to make more products for you.